Nick is Head of Climate Action Fund for the National Lottery Community Fund. He's previously co-founded Semble, a social networking platform that promotes and resources community projects. Great to have you with us today, Nick. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Graham. Mike, that was just absolutely inspiring. It's amazing to hear that, and a difficult act to follow. I'm trying to just see if I can get onto my slides. There we go. Hello and happy Earth Day, everyone. My name's Nick, and as Graham said there, I'm Head of Climate Action at the National Lottery Community Fund, and up until January this year ran an organisation called Semble, which helps many thousands of people in their local areas come together to make the world a better place. I'm also trustee of a fantastic local charity called Outdoor People, which has an outdoor shop in Hackney and uses the profits to offer family camping trips to the countryside for families from inner city London. Through all these roles, I've learned about what seems to work in bringing people together in local communities to take positive climate action. But in particular, I've learned why encouraging children and young people to care about nature is crucial to saving the planet. And that's why I love that the aim of this event, to initiate and inspire immediate and permanent action. In my view, there's nothing more inspiring to get us to take action to save our planet than the marvels of what the planet offers us in nature. In this talk, I'll tell you a bit about why I think it's important for children to spend some more time out in nature. And then I'll talk about some of the programs we're funding at the lottery and a couple of campaigns that I set up to encourage young people to get outside. Before I go too much further, I can't actually seem to click my slides over. So I was wondering if Claire, you could help. Thank you very much. So why is getting outside so important? Well, it is clear that going outside has a critical positive impact on children's lives. Time outdoors playing, learning and exploring has been shown to improve both physical and mental health, academic development, engagement with the climate crisis, and ultimately happiness. And spending time in the great outdoors, be that in a garden, a beach, in a forest, or a local park, is excellent for building an understanding of nature, and from there, growing the next generation of eco-warriors. And this quote from David Attenborough sums it up for me. No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they've never experienced. The other reason it's vitally important is that we're not facing only a climate emergency, but actually a climate and ecological crisis. And you'll have heard plenty of statistics about the climate emergency today, but did you know that 40% of the UK species are in a rapid or steep decline? The UK is now one of the most nature depleted countries in the world, with 1 in 7 species facing extinction. So we urgently need to help our children engage with and protect their local wildlife for the future. And you'd have thought that with all this clear understanding of the connection between climate and nature and the overwhelming evidence of the importance of kids spending time outdoors, that we'd be well on top of this. But the stark truth is that every generation that passes, kids have less and less space to roam. And shockingly, most children today have less time outdoors on a day-to-day basis than maximum security prisoners. In the UK, over 3/4 of children have less than an hour outdoors every day, whereas prisoners are required to have at least 2 hours outdoors time every day, or they start to go crazy. Just think about that. So let me tell you a few things about some of the programs we run at the National Lottery Community Fund. Whenever someone buys a National Lottery ticket, a portion of that ticket price is reserved to be distributed for good causes. At the Community Fund, we award over £600 million every year to local communities across the UK. And we talk about the importance of people in the lead, which basically means that we want the way that the money gets spent to be determined by real people in communities across the country. For our young people programs, that means we need to understand, how do we ensure that we are addressing the real priorities of children and young people? We've recently established a new young people in the lead team, looking at making improvements to our processes, from what we should be looking for in the applications for our money, to sitting on our funding committees to help us decide where the money gets spent. And here's a few examples of some of the programs that we run. Our Brighter Future is a collection of 31 projects across the country, which in the last few years have helped more than 115,000 young people to get practical work experience and achieve qualifications on environmental projects. Almost 3,000 spaces have been created or improved, such as parks, community orchards, and nature reserves. The I Will campaign supports young people under 20 years old to take action in their communities. Currently, 4 in 10 young people participate in meaningful social action, and the pie chart shows a breakdown of how those young people are taking action through the campaign. Last year, through I Will for Nature, we co-funded projects like the Transform Our World website, which is helping to host this summit, and a fantastic project by the Woodland Trust to convert a former coal mine in Derbyshire to a 400-acre young people's forest, working with children and teenagers to plant 250,000 trees over the coming years. Communities Living Sustainably was a £10 million programme working to help communities to tackle the impacts of climate change, and in many ways was the forerunner for what we've just recently launched, which is the £100 million Climate Action Fund, which I now head up. With this fund, we're not only looking to identify really innovative and impactful climate action projects across the country, but we're also looking to choose our investments carefully so that we can really build a wider movement of climate action, reaching far beyond the projects we directly support. And we do have 2 young people on our advisory panel helping us to make the right choices with what to fund. And now I'd like to tell you about a couple of programs that I've been personally involved with over the last few years. The first is Outdoor Classroom Day. This idea emerged from a teachers' conference hosted by the London Sustainable Schools Forum, where one teacher, Anna Porch, recognised the falling level of outdoor time experienced by children and wanted to encourage schools to address this in her local borough of Croydon. Her campaign, originally called Empty Classroom Day, took off like a storm and soon had over 600 schools taking part. But like all good ideas, we recognised the potential for the campaign to grow. And over the last few years, with backing from Persil, the campaign has grown into a truly global movement. In 2018, almost 30,000 schools across 113 countries took part. And that, we believe, doubled again in 2019 as large countries like Indonesia took part, although we're still counting the official number. That makes over 3.5 million children getting involved with outdoor activities at school on a single day. So the last slide showed a snapshot of the website where teachers can sign up, and here is a snapshot of the schools participating across the world. Overall, the campaign's got 3 simple long-term goals. Firstly, to make outdoor learning a part of every school day for every child. Secondly, to set a consistent minimum target for playtime at school every day for at least 60 minutes, with a longer-term aim of 90 minutes. And lastly, for schools to act as advocates for more time outdoors so that outdoor play becomes part of every child's everyday life. And here's a short video summary of how the campaign pans out in schools across the world over the course of a single day.
Hello, world!
Another campaign we set up more recently at Semble is Backyard Nature. This campaign aims to encourage any child to become a backyard nature guardian and pledge to protect nature where they live. We use the motto of Your Patch, Your Planet, where children and young people can help do their bit by selecting a patch to look after, be it an area of their local park, a street corner, their garden, school grounds, or even a balcony. And here's another short video clip introducing the project.
Listen up, kids. Nature is under threat. Nature needs protecting. Nature needs our help. Let's roll up our sleeves. Get mud in our shoes. Get our hands dirty. Indoors or outdoors, together we can achieve anything. The world is our playground. It's our futures to live in. It's our planet to save. Outside in nature is where we play. Let's keep it that way. Nature won't be defeated, not in our backyard. We are backyard nature guardians.
The future is now. Don't wait for tomorrow.
This is our patch. This is our planet.
I think I stopped that just slightly earlier, but I'll share the link afterwards in the notes. So the Backyard Nature website offers resources and ideas of creative and fun things to do on your local patch. And having launched in July last year, the campaign's already inspired more than 500,000 hours of nature-based activity and had around 6,000 young people signing up as nature guardians from across the country. I'm just going to skip on to the final slide, which is summarising what you can do. Claire, you might need to help me with the slides again here. If you agree with me about how important it is for children to spend time in nature for your own personal development and health, and also for you to be inspired to become the earth protectors of tomorrow, then what can you do? Lockdown shouldn't be a barrier to experiencing nature. In fact, we're seeing nature thrive and flourish in certain pockets across the country during this time. Claire, would you mind just going back to the slide before? So here's some things you can do. You can aim to spend an hour a day getting to know nature around you. Perhaps use the time you have for your daily exercise, or you could plant something on your windowsill or watch a nature documentary. You could prepare a wild walk locally for your friends, family, or even neighbours for once we come out of lockdown. You'll find ideas about how to do that on the Backyard Nature website. Don't forget to use social media to tell us about what you're doing, and importantly, do sign up as a Backyard Nature Guardian and tell your teacher about Outdoor Classroom Day, and tell them that you want more time at school outdoors. For teachers and parent teachers, keep an eye out for other free resources, like these live fieldwork lessons from the Field Studies Council, which started this week and will continue for the next 2 weeks. There's loads of resources for teachers to work on with students, and the live sessions cover a range from primary and secondary topics. And finally, think about how you can work with others locally in your area to come up with ideas to look after nature where you live. And I just wanted to finish on a really inspiring quote from a favourite of mine, Margaret Mead. She was an American cultural anthropologist who said many wonderful things throughout her lifetime. For example, she said, "We won't have a society if we destroy the environment." She also said, "What people say and what people do and what people say they do are entirely different things." But my favourite quote really is this one: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Thank you.